Welcome to the Next Dimension Podcast, your portal to an extended reality. Every week we talk about the hottest topics in XR and let you join the discussion live on MRTV. And now, get ready for another exciting episode coming up.
Hi and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 22 of the Next Dimension Podcast. Your podcast that's all about VR and AR and mixed reality and all this good stuff. Here with me, Steve, VR Flight Sim Guy. It's so great to have you back. How are you doing?
Oh, it's been fantastic to be back on the channel again. It's great. And looking forward to the discussion tonight, really.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, me too. Fantastic. Great to have you back. And also here with us, of course, Gary. Gary walked in from Immersed Robot. Gary, how are you doing?
Very good. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's been a while since there was a show, and I've missed it. I missed talking about VR in person, and in fact, I'll talk about something when I get to my week and stuff like that, where it was good to talk to people about VR in person as well. So I think it's always nice, isn't it, just to have this kind of discussion about stuff in general, anyway, especially in a topic that you're interested in.
Exactly. Yeah. So now we can finally talk about our favorite hobby and pastime, and for me, even work again. Yes, fantastic. Yeah. Also, I'm here also on the show. My name is Sebastian. I'm the founder of MRTV and the host of the Next Dimension Podcast. And I'm also doing great. I'm happy to be back after quite some time. I was on vacation in the south of France, which was absolutely incredible. Yeah, just one thing happened that was not so incredible. You've probably seen it on my channel. I'm going to talk about this in a moment as well again. But I'm now getting back into the working flow, and therefore also here we're back with the Next Dimension Podcast. Super happy to be back, and great to have all the people back who are watching this live right now. Hi there. For all of you who have never watched this show or who have never listened to this show, this is a show that's all about, VR and AR and all these amazing technologies. It is live every Sunday, 9 p.m. Berlin, 8 p.m. London, noon in San Francisco, and 3 p.m. in New York City. And you can listen to this as an audio podcast as well on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Alexa, and everywhere where you can find podcasts. Yes, and if you have missed us, if you enjoy this podcast, and if you have actually not yet given us this precious 5-star review on iTunes, then now is the perfect time. Get out your iPad or iPhone, find the podcast app, and absolutely find the Next Dimension Podcast and give us a 5-star review. This is the best way to support the podcast, next to sending us like coins. This was just a joke. Gary can just
I'm not
give it a slight smile. So you can absolutely totally give us a 5-star review. That would be incredible. Yeah, so do that if you enjoy our podcast, and that would be fantastic. Today, we are going to talk a lot, actually, about Meta, about the Cambria. We have lots of catching up to do. Like, for example, we're going to talk about the price of the Cambria. We found out that it's actually going to be much more expensive than we had hoped for. And I believe we did have a show where we kind of guessed the price and we were all wrong. It's going to be much more expensive. Yeah, we're also going to talk about the new reveal videos that they showed us about the Cambria, where Mark Zuckerberg is donning the device like a pixelated device. So, I hope the device is not going to be pixelated when we have it in our hands. Okay, the jokes are not getting better today. I have the feeling. But we're going to have a look at these videos, and we're going to try to, see what we can learn about the device then. Right. Also, I will let you know some some interesting new things about the Pico Neo 3 Link that is going to launch. I know I always say launch, but it's launch, right?
Launch, yeah.
Somebody wrote it to me under my videos. Sebastian, your English is great, but it's launch. Don't say lounge.
I think it's because your English is so good that it's just that you notice that one word more. But
I'm
I
totally,
quite like the way you say it, actually.
It's the German thing, because AU in German is au. So I say lounge. Yeah, like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
He also talks like me. Yeah. So
how would you pronounce this then? Like Orbica, because that's AU.
What?
How would you pronounce that?
Yeah, Aubica.
Aubica. Okay.
Au.
Yeah.
Yow.
Yow.
Yow. Yeah. So,
better.
but anyways, if any of you will find some problems with my English, I'm really happy if you can correct me. Like especially grammatically. Like I think I will always keep those German lounge things, right? But grammatically, if I do grammatical errors, please do let me know. I would like to improve my English. Yeah, Lars, exactly. This car.
That's a good example.
This car is German, obviously, right? And it's you have to say
Audi. Of course, we say
Yeah.
You also say
we say Audi. Yeah,
okay,
we don't say Audi.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see.
Stop saying that from now on.
Yeah,
you're doing it absolutely right there.
Nice Audi.
Yeah, so the Pico Neo 3 Link is going to launch in 24th of May, and well, we're going to talk about this also very soon in the show. I will let you know some stuff. Anyways, before we get into the topics, let's talk about our last weeks. What did we do in virtual reality, and why don't we start with Steve?
Oh, me first. Well, I haven't been on the show for a while, but I'll just mention a few choice things because a lot has happened since my last appearance on the show, which was I think 1984, wasn't it? I can't remember, but it seems like ages ago. But yeah, I'll just mention a couple of really cool things without boring people too much. I think the first thing is eye tracking with the Vario Aero is now supported in Microsoft Flight Simulator via the OpenXR toolkit.
Goodness.
Yeah, and this is kind of the holy grail in terms of what we all want for VR, isn't it? Really,
I must try it.
Eye tracking with dynamic foveated rendering. So it's not as great as you're probably hoping it would be. But to be honest, this is early stages. And the developer, the dude who is doing this all off his own back, is doing a fantastic job of getting this out there. And it is, it's making a difference to frame rate, of course. And it's amazing just to see it in action, and you can mess around with the ring size of what you can see sort of in the sort of the peripheral, but also in the center. And you can it's amazing how well it works because you never really notice that graininess or where the the quality gets worse unless you really pinpoint it really, really small. And then you can kind of look around with your eyes and it just, even like darting from left and right. I've never tried this. If it's a new thing for me to see that in a really high end application of real intensive like flight sim where it needs it the most. And I'm getting upwards of, it's not amazing frame rate, but I'm getting about 60 frames per second at times.
But that's pretty good, right?
In a sim with that high resolution, it's incredible. I actually think about 60 frames per second, you don't even need motion reprojection for flying at that point. I think it's good enough. It's smooth enough at that point. So yeah, really cool. Really, and that's kind of filtered in as well to DCS. I've also done a video. I'm doing more DCS stuff now because I've noticed my subscribers are calling out for it. So I'm listening to you. And I'm going to do more DCS stuff. And I tried the HP Riva G2 with this thing called Open Composite, which allows sort of the bypass of SteamVR completely. So you're using OpenXR as the runtime. I don't quite, I'm not the man to understand it correctly, but I did try it out. And in DCS, again, the performance is incredible because all I'm using now is the Windows Mixed Reality portal and DCS without SteamVR in the way, which makes a huge difference to frame rate. So yeah, kind of geeky stuff, really. But
I remember people talking about that open composite with Oculus stuff back in the early days as well,
works,
because it really benefits some certain Oculus games. I think with things like Skyrim and stuff like that, you can get a lot of benefit by using open composite. I've not really dived into that, but I think I have used it, but I've not used it like extensively to really test how much it increases performance. But I've heard from so many people that it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's incredibly clever, really, and I love how this is being sort of supported by someone who works for Microsoft, but he's doing this off his own back, which is quite incredible. It just shows you the passion he's got.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. Yeah.
And yeah, I think an army of flight simmers have just taken him in, like, come in, please sit down. We'll pour you a drink and stay for a while. You're doing amazing things for the flight sim community. So yeah, it's superb. And that actually tied in with the next thing that I've been doing. I've been very lucky to have a loan computer. I've been borrowing a computer off a company called Stormforce, with no obligation to do anything with it really, other than test it out. But they want me to do
and say the name a couple of times on the podcast.
No, not at all.
It's okay, man. It's okay. No, honestly, Stormforce. No. Wow. Tell us about this incredible computer.
No, I'm serious, Seb. Honestly, in this case, I'm getting 0.
I'm just kidding, man.
In fact, actually, I bought a Stormforce computer for $4,500 about a year and a half ago, not even knowing who they were or anything.
Right. Did you buy it with code VR Flight Sim Guy?
There's no code. There is no codes for this, unfortunately. But yeah,
I'm just kidding.
It's got because I think I saw your post on this, Steve, actually on YouTube, because it's got like a 12. What is it? 12.
It's powered by the moon. Literally, no.
It's got the highest spec 12900K or something like that, hasn't it? Yeah.
12900K running a 3090 Ti. In fact, I'm using this computer now to do the recording, so it should look really good now. But so I did try.
I also want a 3090. Can you put me in touch with these Stormforce people?
In all seriousness, Seb, I probably could.
I mean it.
I mean it, actually.
I totally mean it too.
I think you could actually have this very computer. Just they'll probably ship it to you for a few weeks, and then you can show it off, because that'd be great.
But the things that being sent to the MRTV headquarters, they never return. It's like a black hole.
yeah.
So that's well, I must tell them already.
Yeah. I've got my Pimax 8KX still, and I'm waiting for the email to send it back. I'm not going to send it back till they ask for it.
But they're quite forgetful, Pimax sometimes. Yeah. But I've still got their SAW controllers. I was supposed to send them back ages ago, but still got them. But
I think even they themselves don't want them.
No. Sam, no. Actually, to be fair,
I'm naughty today. It seems.
It does. Yeah.
My review of the SAW controllers wasn't that great, actually, to be honest. But I mean, the trackpad in that was like, no one wants a trackpad. Well, I don't anyway.
No,
but
not really.
So, with this lone computer, which is the most powerful thing ever known to man, along with
Stormforce.
Along with the OpenXR toolkit, this is going to be a good show today.
Yeah, I have a good feeling too.
I posted a video yesterday running DCS at 90 frames per second in VR.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Holy
that's incredible.
Crap.
Yeah.
That is good. That is good.
It's the first time I've ever experienced a flight sim of that caliber. I mean, a complex flight sim, not something like I can't think of any arcade sims, but.
Have you got any plans like for Microsoft Flight Simulator to do what it can do with that? I don't know if you've already done a video on that or not.
I've got it. I haven't put it out yet, but I've managed to get 85 frames per second in. So not quite 90. I was trying the hardest. Annoyingly, when I wasn't recording, I got 90, but as soon as I put the record button on, that takes at least 5-10 frames per second.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's still good though for most people. I mean, obviously they're not going to be recording stuff anyway, so that's all you want really from that. I mean, that would be incredible. I remember getting 80 in certain areas, 80 native on my system, which is a lot lower spec. Yeah. Yes, with the index, of course. Yeah.
this is the only thing I'm going to say, actually, a caveat to this. That's not with the Aero or not with an 8KX. This is
nice, yeah.
I got 85 to 90 frames per second in that sim with the Pimax 5K Super, which is a lot lower resolution. It's more like a Rift S in terms of its resolution. But even with the 8KX, I was getting 60 frames per second, 65. And the Aero managed about 70 at points. So we're getting close. The only reason why I'm showcasing this is because we are getting close to that like moment of enjoying VR with real fluid frame rate, which we all want. We have to worry about motion projection and all the other stuff and setups and stuff. I think in another couple of years from now, we won't need to have like a bloody, a training course just to understand how to set up a flight sim or something. Or
but then they'll do an update where they increase the graphics so it's even better looking, and then you're back in the loop again. It'll just
That's a very good point. Yeah, to be fair. Yeah, because we're always going to be on that cutting edge. But no, it's been really good fun having this and trying all those settings and stuff, and things are getting there absolutely with it. So cool. Yeah, very cool indeed.
Wow, so many FPS with these flight sims are incredible. I can just remember when I tried Microsoft Flight Simulator with the OpenXR toolkit for the first time with the Pimax 8KX. It just felt incredible.
Yeah,
I was just shocked how good that looked suddenly. I mean, how fluid it was. Because before, it was not so nice, right? But then, so this OpenXR toolkit is incredible.
You've got to try it, Seb, with the eye tracking. It doesn't give you a massive frame rate boost because you're already using fixed frame rate rendering. I thought it would be better than that. But I do still feel that's just early days, and I think it will get better, more refined.
So basically now it's the same, like with the fixed foveated rendering, but you don't see any more of that worse resolution, right? Because
it follows your eyes.
Always, exactly.
Yeah.
So that should be much better then.
I could see out at one point when I had the ring size small, I could see the fuzziness out of the corner of my eye. So as soon as you look at it, it's not there because it's obviously wherever you look, it's not. You're never going to stare at it. So even just as it's a tech demo to see where this is going, it was quite fun to try it.
Is it fast enough?
What the
eye tracking? Is it fast enough?
Oh yeah. At one point I actually looked like that. Looked at in an area, closed my eyes and looked over there on purpose. And it still caught it. It still knew where I was.
There's that thing in the Vario Aero software as well, where you can actually see your eyes, and then it sort of tracks your pupils. Right. When I did that was like really, I mean, that was impressive. Just looking at your own eyes, and as you move around, the circle follows it that quickly.
Even watching that's amazing, isn't it? As a sort of demo.
It's surprising. It surprised me how good even that was without having any kind of context behind it, how it would actually look. It was surprising how quickly that they did it.
And I'm pleased to say this works as well with actual lenses. Well, I've got VR optician lenses on the Aero. I wonder whether that would interfere with it, but it works absolutely fine with it. And you kind of almost in the back of your mind thinking, it's tracking my eyes. It's kind of weird. But after a while, you just totally forget about it and just, it's amazing.
Just quickly before we move on the because I've got the Pimax 8KX that I'm still using at the moment. Is there a fix?
Yes, I like your review. Yeah. Your review was cool.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Good. Yeah. I was just asking about the flight sim though. You know the culling issue with the Pimax 8KX on Microsoft Flight Sim. Is there a fix for that?
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Again, it's the same guy again. OpenXR Toolkit dude. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But basically, he's got this sort of setting in the latest OpenXR Toolkit called Pimax culling hack. It's called literally called culling hack. Switch it on. And you don't need to use parallel reprojections, which then saves your processor 35% performance straight away.
Wow.
The only issue is it's not, again, quite right. You can see the culling ever so slightly on the left-hand side, perfect on the right-hand side. But again, I think that's going to be sorted within another couple of updates. But it's made the 8KX a viable headset now for even Microsoft Flight Simulator, which that was always its Achilles heel. It couldn't really run it very well. Now it's looking like that's going to change. So anyone who loves wide field of view headsets, you can. It might actually be a thing now. You can use them in that sim, which is very cool. Yeah, amazing.
Dear OpenXR Toolkit guy, if you
He
ever,
should come on.
if you ever want to come onto
Yeah,
this show,
that'd be cool, actually.
We would love to have you. It would be so interesting to find out, everything about OpenXR Toolkit, the whole story, because I'm so fascinated by this piece of free software, which helps us to get more FPS.
Yeah, it is amazing.
For free.
And these composite files, they're finding their way into different sims and race sims. So before too long, there's going to be like a whole host of different ways, more compatibility with different VR games as well. Yeah, really cool. I think I'll end because I've done quite a bit, obviously, but I'll just mention I did a 4-hour session in the Quest. In fact, I've got it here. It's actually charging. I did a 4-hour wireless flying session in this because I've got this. You probably heard of it. It's actually I'm going to try and pronounce it the correct way you would, Seb. Albica. It's an Albica head strap.
Albica. Oh, yeah,
and
cool.
they sent me this to review, but I could have said anything I want really, but I really like it. It's really cool.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah. They have also sent an email, and I've totally ignored them.
What's the?
I would have that thing in my hands now, but no.
Oh, Seb, on this,
nope.
I'd like to hear what you think of this because it's a really comfortable head strap.
Okay, I'm going to answer that.
5 hours in this thing.
I've got one up there on the shelf. I've not tried it yet.
Oh my goodness! Okay.
But you guys are slacking. Everyone. My God, this is.
No, I did. Yeah. What's the battery? What is the capacity of the battery in that one? Then is it got a?
Let me find out with the box. Can't remember.
It must have a pretty decent capacity. Then that's all I'll say because
5,000 milliamp.
Okay. That's about So it's about the same as some of the Bobo and stuff like that. I think with the with one battery, but. Yeah, there's so many of these battery straps that are coming out. It's getting the right one, though, isn't it? That suits you. Because I really like the Bobo VR, but then I hear all these people complaining about it, how it slips forward and that kind of stuff. People don't like it, how it doesn't grip properly, but I really like that.
At all.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I love the thing that you can just exchange the battery. If you have two of these batteries, this is just genius. Yeah, I had one too until it was stolen, so...
Oh, mate,
God. Yeah. Oh, please. Oh.
Poor Seb.
Yes. I don't have a Quest 2. I have all the headsets, but I don't have a Quest 2.
I guess you can't really review it without the Quest. You got the headset.
Yeah, I do. It's true.
God, here we go.
Right.
You've got to get another one, Seb. You must buy another one, or acquire one somehow. A GoFundMe page or something. Because one thing I have learned actually, the Quest 2 is my guilty
you and
pleasure.
Gary could put some money together for me, or
we could.
I could. But we're not gonna though. I don't think.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's fine. GoFundMe. I like the idea. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anything more, Steve? Or should we give it to Gary?
Yeah, just to say this massive cockpit behind me is the brand new aircraft I've been checking out by Just Flight. It's a study level. That's what we like to say these days. Study level airliner. Every switch, every button, every component system, everything works exactly like the real thing. It has amazing, like a massive page manual, and I've been learning how to fly it. I've been flying it in VR. I've got a video on the channel of it because people are like, "How do you fly such a complex airliner in VR?" Actually, it's really easy. In terms of you got to learn how to fly it, but in terms of the manipulation of the buttons and keys and knobs and all that kind of stuff. And having great fun with that. Really, really cool.
Yeah, nice. That is great.
But that'll do for me, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Gary, tell us more about your last weeks. What did you do in virtual reality?
A lot of testing with the Pimax 8KX, of course, is you can check out my review on my channel. That's pretty much it in terms of YouTube. But just to sum that up, pretty much what I said on the last time I was on this show, to be honest. I really like the headset. I think it's got a couple of caveats, which I mentioned in that video. And actually I mentioned in the last time we spoke about it on this show as well. But it's a good headset. It's a premium headset, and it demands the cost of that kind of headset as well. So, it's expensive. It's an expensive headset, but then again, so is the Valve Index. So, one of the things I was going to go on. Sorry, did somebody go to speak then? Sorry.
No.
Okay, I heard something.
No, it's I'm here in Dortmund, and my team, they won today, Borussia Dortmund, and they are just getting drunk outside. So I'm getting drunk inside, and they're getting drunk outside, and they are like chanting, and yeah. I'm going to mute myself now. Wait. Go ahead.
But yeah, just to wrap up, I think the Pimax is a good headset with caveats, and it's very expensive. And as I say, the Valve Index is expensive as well. It's probably at this point in 2022, the Valve Index is probably more expensive than it should be at this point, but it is what it is. But other than that, the only other thing I really want to mention is that last week I went to the Retro Computer Museum yet again. I think I've probably mentioned it on this podcast at some point in the past as well. They have an event every now and again, and it was just a great time. I met up with Paradise Decay and his friend Dazed Netic, who is in the chat right now as well. Dazed Netic has a YouTube channel as well, so go and check that out. #ProGamer. And Fluke Rogi, of course, long-time VR community member as well. Fluke Rogi, who I've met a few times at the Retro Computer Museum. And the reason I'm mentioning that is simply because they have a lot of old retro VR equipment there. So they've got the Dactyl Nightmare machines, they've got the old virtuality machines that you can actually try out. And we've, Fluke Rogi and I, we have this sort of annual competition where we play a little bit of Dactyl Nightmare at these events. And for the last 5 years or so, it's been a draw. It's ended in a draw. And then this year, somebody won. It doesn't matter who won, because it's not about who won. It's about winning, just taking part, isn't it? It's not about winning and losing, of course. It's
such a liar.
Such a liar. So yeah, Fluke Rogi beat me, blew my head off in Dactyl Nightmare. So it was, but it was great. Meeting up with Paradise K, Dazed Netic, Fluke Rogi, and a few other people there as well. Fluke Rogi's friends as well that I've met a few times. It's just such a great time to meet up with people in person, as you and I did, Sebastian, and just talk about VR and just have no inhibitions about it. Yeah,
that was fantastic. We had a few adult beverages, and we had a great time in Paris, sitting in that cafe. It was so good.
It was fantastic. And I think there's something to be said, like just talking to you here now, like online, it's great, but there's something about meeting up with people in person and just having a discussion and knowing that they like VR just as much as you do, and you don't have to censor yourself in terms of I should probably stop talking about VR now because they like it as much.
Exactly.
I've never had that experience, but I'm looking forward to having that.
Well,
we're going to have it. So we're going to have it.
Yeah, we should have it. And also, Steve, they've got, I think, Retro Computer Museum, they've got an event in Leicester. We're not too far from you. Next time they have an event, you ought to come down. And
I definitely will. Absolutely. Yeah. Let me know and I'll be there.
I will do.
Yeah. How far away are you two guys from each other?
It's probably about 70 miles, something like that. It's not too far.
What does it mean in kilometers?
Oh, about, say, 100 kilometers, something like that. It's not far.
I know.
Yeah, we need to. It's weird, isn't it? We've got Imperial and metric over here in the UK, and then everybody else has got their proper things. But yeah, we had a great time there, and retro VR is just worth trying. If anybody gets the opportunity to try one of these old virtuality machines, I do encourage people to do it. But it was. It's not like a fantastic experience, of course not. Like in 2022, playing these things from 1991, but it's still fun if you're there with the right people. So that's pretty much it for me. Honestly, not too much else to report.
Are you going to make a video of that one, Gary? Or
no? So I did make a video of the last time I went.
I've watched that.
Oh yeah. Really so cool. I think I covered pretty much everything in that video anyway. But Paradise Decay did make a video on his channel about that visit as well, so you can check that out.
I need to subscribe to him. Actually, I still haven't, so I'm going to do it now. I always forget, so I'm going to do it right now.
Great.
Yeah. He's
great guy.
I mean, absolutely fantastic. It's always good. And one of the things I want to mention, I've never met anybody from the VR community in real life that I've ever had any dislike for or any issues with whatsoever. Paradise Decay He's absolutely a fantastic guy. He's exactly what you expect. He's a lovely person, as you would expect. And everybody I met there, Days Netic, they're all fantastic. And we just had a great time. It was a great day.
It'd be quite cool to have Paradise Decay on a podcast, because I know that even the FR Reality podcast, I think you do the admin for that one as well as, and you kind of on this one. You seem to be everywhere, so you obviously got that incredible passion for VR, and I think that's worthy of an appearance. Have a good chat with you at some point. That'd be really cool.
Absolutely, totally agreed. Yeah, would love to do that. PD, if you're watching this, then totally.
He's probably not here now. I said that.
He's not here. Well, how's it possible?
That's Oslo if he isn't. But yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, your Pimax review, Gary, was absolutely excellent.
Very nice.
Really
thank you.
It needs to be shared everywhere. That does, because it's a very honest review. I was interested to hear what you've done about with the IPD as well, because I don't struggle with the IPD with the 8KX, but I think that's because my IPD is about, I think it's about 65, so I'm quite lucky. However, I do find the 5K Super, I always feel a little bit cross-eyed when I've tried that. I don't, whether the lenses aren't quite a bit too far apart in that, I think. So
I have 64 millimeters IPD, so basically it's very average. But still, I can do something with the IPD offset to make it perfect for me. Yeah. And I made this video about it, how you set up the IPD offset for the Pimax. So probably have a look at that video, Steve. And just give it a try. For me, it made the experience even better. So I really enjoy my 8KX experience now.
Yeah, no, it's not the 8KX I have the issue with, actually. It's the 5K Super, but maybe I'll do that.
You can try it there too. You can try it there too.
But for you, Gary, you said it was just slightly off on one eye, didn't you? So
it's because I can tell the difference. I've used so many VR headsets, and I know I can tell when the lenses are not quite right. It's like I go from the Pimax to the Valve Index, and there's definitely something there, and I know it's the lenses. I know it's the lenses just being that little bit too far apart. And it's not like, and I mentioned this in the review, and it's not like it makes it really bad or anything like that. It's just something slightly off, which I wish wasn't there. But if it was the only headset I had, then I probably wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind, and it would be fine. But it's just something that I notice, and it's just something that is so. I feel like it's so easy to fix. If they just move them lenses slightly closer, I wouldn't have this issue. And it's the frustration of that, really. And that review, it's like 17 minutes long, and I was going on and on in it, and I didn't even cover half the things I wanted to cover in it, because there's so much to say about the Pimax 8KX. So I've focused on certain things in that review, but I've not covered absolutely everything, which I would have loved to. I've said everything. I think it's a good headset anyway. Cool,
I'll just say one more thing about it, Gary, because I could talk about it forever, but I really loved what you said about the field of view, like how it didn't wow you when you was experiencing it, but then when you went back, you noticed it wasn't there. So it's almost like it was something that you immediately got used to.
Yeah, because we are already used to that huge field of view from our real reality.
But it wasn't like you went into the Pimax and went, "Oh my god, wow!"
No,
look at this. I didn't feel that way either. I thought, I can definitely see more. But kind of okay, and then you just kind of immediately get used to it, and then it's not until you go back, then you go, "Oh, it's more of a shock when you go back afterwards."
Absolutely, yeah. You go back to the Quest 2 after that, and it takes a while to get back used to it. Yeah. And I remember Steve from VR Roundtable, Steve Bishop. I remember him saying the same thing, because he had the Pimax. First out of all of us, and I was thinking, I mean, I understood what he was saying, but it's when you experience it, it's such a shock when you go back as well.
It is, definitely.
Wow. So let's hope that Pimax will get their stuff together and deliver an amazing 12K QLED experience.
Yes.
Right? Because that device is like years of more research put into a headset. Probably they could have got rid of all the problems of these first headsets they were still using. And I'm rooting for them. We all know that. Yeah, we want that to be amazing for us VR enthusiasts, and let's hope it's going to happen.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right. Okay, let me go into the huge, into this view so that you can read my cap. Nice, right? Yeah. So, what was I up to? Well, yeah, I was on vacation, as you probably know by now. By now, I'm a big fan of camping. I have this beautiful caravan, and me and my wife like to go on these camping vacations. And we went to the south of France. So
Nice.
beautiful. Oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. Even like driving there was beautiful. Like driving through Provence, and it's just a very beautiful country, I must say. So that was fantastic. But unfortunately, as you probably also know, if you watch this channel, on the very first day in France, we got, our car got smashed in by somebody who robbed things out of it or who stole things out of it. We were like parking the car in Lyon, and then they took things out of the car, which kind of sucked to experience something like this, obviously. And then directly on the first day of our vacation. So yeah, that really sucked. Unfortunately, I had the Quest 2 with me in that car.
Man.
That is so stupid, right? Because I thought like, wow, probably I could also make some content for MRTV on the channel, for the channel. But then, anyways, I wouldn't have done it. But then I couldn't do it because they stole my Quest 2. And now I don't have a Quest 2. And I made this video, and I also came to the conclusion and told the world that, well, I do miss my Quest 2. Even though, I'm very skeptical. And, I do criticize Meta a lot for the privacy issues, for the forced Facebook login. But I must also give them credit where credit is due, and we've all done it already here on the channel and on the podcast. They did build a great ecosystem with amazing games and also with exclusives that you cannot play when you don't have the Quest 2, obviously, right? Yeah. So even though I have all the other headsets on the planet, I do miss the Quest 2. Yes, and So I think I do need a new one. I really do miss it. And I must say, after I posted that video about the Quest 2 being stolen, wow, I got probably the most wonderful message on Twitter by a very dear member of the XR industry. And you know who you are. Thank you. That was so amazing. And he told me, Sebastian, when you come to the States, you can have mine. I have one here. I have one here. I give it to you for free. No strings attached. Yeah. So wow, thank you so much. That is so amazing. So yeah, you know who you are. So wow, this community and this industry is amazing. It's fantastic. But I did already tell my family I would like to have one for my birthday, which is on 20th of May.
So having two or more.
No,
sent them everywhere.
So I think they're going to. I think they bought me one, my family already. So I'm not going to get the second one. So he can give it to somebody else. But yeah, thank you. You know who you are, and yeah, amazing. And I'm looking forward to meet you at Augmented World Expo. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, my vacation was really good, and yeah, now I'm back, and now I'm getting back into the groove of things, getting back into working. Glad to be back here on the channel, and yeah, that is really good. What else happened? Well, I am going to go to the United States of America. I'm going to go west to Augmented World Expo, and that is really good news because MRTV is official media partner of Augmented World Expo, and that's amazing. That is so cool. So I'm going to be in Santa Clara, in Silicon Valley, and as you know how I love to do it, I'm going to cover Augmented World Expo for you just as if you were there. You know, I was at CES and I did the same thing. I like to do these live videos where I walk the floor. I simply go to every booth and I just talk to everyone, and it's live. And I'm going to make plenty of videos as well from the booth, and I will simply make you guys feel just as if you were at Augmented World Expo 2022 in Santa Clara. Yeah, so that's something I'm absolutely looking forward to. So this is going to happen in June, and I know that some great people are going to be there that I'm looking forward to meet, and I believe it's going to be amazing. Augmented World Expo is like one of the best shows for XR. Lots of hardware there, lots of XR for business there. All the big players that we're looking forward to for new VR hardware is going to be there, or Meta is also going to be there. And I believe this is going to be a great show. And also, this is going to be my first show after that whole pandemic. So
that's
wow,
true. Yeah.
This is going to be great. Like I love to go on these expos, to really go and meet people, and just like what Gary said before, it just feels different to meet people in person. You know, I love what we're doing here. We can exchange our thoughts and we have great conversations every week. But to really meet people for the first time and to be able to try something out, like, for example, I'm looking forward to try out the Tilt 5.
Yes.
From Jerry Ellsworth. You know, this kind of augmented reality board where you have this this stick that looks like a lighter, like a barbecue lighter, and you have some kind of 3D vision. And wow, I'm so looking forward to try that out for the first time. And I am going to try that out in the United States of America. Finally, I'll be back.
Have you got any insights, any little tidbits? If you know the kind of hardware that's going to be there yet at all, or you
no
in the dark? Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah,
you can go to the website, to the Augmented World Expo website, and you will see all the exhibitors there. So they are all there.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
I'm hoping to see some hardware anyway, because that what you were saying there as well about Jerry Ellsworth and Tilt 5. She is making.
I'm so looking forward to
that. Yeah, that is great, and she's doing the rounds at the moment as well in terms of promoting it, because the Kickstarter, was it a Kickstarter? I think it was.
Yeah, sometimes
they're going out at the moment anyway, so a lot of people are getting their hands on this.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Exactly. So yeah, that would be really, really good. By the way, thank you so much to Norman for sending over $10. And thank you so much to Repu 1980 from the German community for sending another €1.99. Thank you so much. Wow. I will be there. MRTV official media partner of Augmented World Expo. So yeah, channel's also getting exposure. And also, I believe that's going to be like a good signal for other expos that also want to have MRTV as the official media partner. So yeah, that might set some interesting stuff in motion, and I can't wait to give you that coverage. Actually, I love to be on these shows and just make you feel like you are there as well, just live, walking through the thing. It's fantastic.
I remember when you did the first expos, when you tried the Pimax AKX for the first time.
Yeah, right.
I actually remember that video. I think that's one of the first videos I ever watched of yours. And,
okay, cool.
Very
now we're here.
Yeah,
so
amazing. Isn't
magic
it?
can happen.
Yeah, too right. Yeah. Very cool.
It would be so cool if we three also could join one of these expos together one fine day. Right?
Yeah,
and just walk through together and give our comment.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to go to one of these. All of these expos are in the US.
They are,
and it's very difficult. I mean, not all of them, but a vast majority of them, I would say.
Right,
and it's difficult to get over there, and it costs a lot of money to make these trips over there and to enjoy them. But I'll watch all of the videos that come out of those, and I'll be watching yours, Sebastian, of course.
There will be so many videos. It's crazy. It's going to be really good. Yeah, so that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly there 31st of May. And then I'll be there for a couple of days during the whole show. And lots of videos, lots of interviews, lots of inside information. It's going to be great. I'm sure of that. Yep. Other than that, we just talked about that great feeling of meeting each other in person. That is also going to happen here at the MRTV headquarters. As you probably knew, before the pandemic, I had just started with a business here called the MRTV Experience, where people could come into the office here and simply try out all the VR headsets they wanted for a fee. And it's coming back. I'm bringing the MRTV Experience back. So we don't have the government rules anymore about COVID. So I can do that again now. So it's going to come back in the next few weeks. And if any of you want to visit me here in Germany, we have an international airport. We have a direct flight to London with Ryanair, which costs like 10 euros or what. Yeah, I would love to have you here at the MRTV headquarters. I will give you more information here on the channel, how you can join the MRTV Experience. And yep, it is going to be pretty amazing, I hope.
Just make sure they don't want to try a Quest 2 and you'll be fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but normally they come to try out
the high-end stuff.
The high-end stuff.
They're proper.
I believe they will want to try out the Aero. They want to try out the 8KX.
Yeah.
Or something that's not on the market yet.
Well, the Pico Neo would be a great one.
The Pico Neo 3 Link or the Cambria or something that I have here. And so, yeah, who knows? Right? Yeah. So all the things that you simply cannot try out, you will be able to try it at the MRTV Experience. And yeah, the price of admission even includes bottomless adult beverages. It's a dream come true. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Hang on a second. I didn't know about that. I'll be there.
Yeah, you have to be here. You should come over. It would be great.
Yeah. We'll have to sort that out sometime. I would like to.
Yeah, actually, that would be quite cool, Gary. Maybe we could just fly over one weekend. And
it would be great
that way. That'd be
I will totally invite.
That should be easy enough to do. That
would be cool. Yeah, exactly. It is not complicated. As I said, London, Dortmund, it's like 1 hour. It costs like 10, 15 euros. It's good. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's what I did, and that is what's about to happen. Great that we catched up, and now we can talk about the topics that we want to talk about. And yeah, let's let me share my screen first. So here we go. This is my screen, and okay, here we are. And let me start the video. This is the Pico Neo 3 Link, and yeah, well, it launches here in Europe on the 24th of May in a limited edition. And this is a headset that is very close to the Quest 2. Basically, honestly speaking, it is kind of a Quest 2 copy. However, it does have one very neat trick up its sleeve, and you saw that a bit earlier. Let me go there again here. So it comes with a DisplayPort output cable. So if you want, you can not only use it in standalone mode like the Quest, but also you can put that DisplayPort cable and you can connect it to your PC and make it a full-fledged PC VR headset without any compression. And that makes the PC VR, the image quality just better than that of the Quest 2 in Link mode. So the Quest 2 is already amazing in Link mode, right? It's tough.
It's got so much better now, but
it's good. It's really good. But I have seen this device with their own Link cable, with a DisplayPort cable, and it simply looks better.
Yeah.
It simply looks better because there's absolutely no compression. Also, because there's no decompression, there's no latency. Or less latency, it feels really, really good. So this is going to be sent to the people who ordered on 24th of May. Now, I did still find two problems, and I made a video about it on my channel. And the problems are that in DisplayPort mode, I could only get 72 hertz, and they are advertising 90 hertz. And the bigger problem is that in DisplayPort mode, somehow the scaling was off. So everything looked too small, as in like 20% smaller. Suddenly you had little hands, and in Beat Saber, like the sabers were too small. So that was a bit strange. And you could mitigate that problem by going into the settings and going into the per application settings and changing the world scale to make things bigger. Yeah, but you don't want to do this for every game, and you are not exactly sure what exactly is the right amount that you need to increase the scale. So yeah, it's not a nice. It is not a nice thing to have to set this up by yourself. And honestly, if you buy that, you expect it to be perfect, right? However, I must tell you that, well, it has not even launched yet, right? So they were working on it. And the bits of news that I would like to share with you here today in this podcast is that actually they have connected with me and they told me, Sebastian, we have solved both issues.
Brilliant already.
Yeah, we have solved both issues. So once this launches, I totally got it now, launches on the 24th, when people will receive it, those problems are gone. Good news, right?
That's good. That's fantastic. One of the things, I mean, that's what you would expect, and I am really tempted by this because I do like the idea. It could replace, potentially like a Valve Index or something like that, because it's got the high resolution stuff. One of the things, I don't know if it was on your video or if I read it somewhere or something like that, but there was something to do with the lenses being slightly different in the Pico than they are in the Quest, and that might present some, like a smaller sweet spot or something like that. I'm not too sure. No,
it doesn't. Actually,
so
it's very clear.
Is there any?
You're directly in the sweet spot. I didn't have this problem.
Okay.
So the lens shape, it is rounder. For the Quest 2, it's not perfectly round. Yeah. So yes, you see, it's very round. It's more round. So, but that also helps you to get a bit more of FOV, vertically. Okay. So I don't think that is a problem at all. So actually, it's a very nice headset, and now, if they have really fixed it, I have not tried it yet. They did not send me the latest firmware update or the latest software update. If they have actually fixed those two problems, wow, I can absolutely recommend this headset. Since it's simply a nice mix between Quest 2. Okay, you don't get like those games that are obviously exclusive for the Quest 2, but you do have quite a good number of games for their standalone store. They also have a store. And you do get like a great Steam VR headset, with especially with a DisplayPort connection, right? And it's better than the Quest 2 quality, and it's even very close to the G2 quality, which is amazing, but with better controllers and with better tracking. Yeah. So that is the interesting thing. For those people who enjoyed the Quest, the G2, but did not enjoy the controller so much, this could be a really, really nice headset for 450 euros and pounds, which is a good price. The price is really good.
It's exactly the same price as the Quest. So it's $399 over here for the 256. Right. So it's
right.
I mean, to say, I am definitely tempted by it, especially if they get those issues resolved and that kind of stuff. Because while I use my Quest in standalone, and I like the Quest for standalone stuff as well, now and again, it's almost always like PC VR stuff. And correct me if I'm wrong, Sebastian. So you can have this as a direct feed through like a DisplayPort connection to get that benefit, but it will also work in a similar way to AirLink as well. Anyway, if you want that option,
you can, if you want, exactly. You can also stream it wirelessly, and it works well. It works really well.
Yeah, because I just think it's amazing what they've done here, isn't it? To be able to compete with the behemoth of Meta. to be able to produce a headset that's actually better spec'd than the Quest 2, really.
Yeah. I mean, they all come from China. Also, the Quest 2, it was also made in China. It was also, planned in China. Everything comes from China. Let's be really very clear about it. So
I did quite laugh when I did see that DisplayPort connection just kind of plonked on top of it. Like it does look a little bit like an afterthought, but at the same time, it's not.
But you can screw it. Actually, you can even screw it into the thing. It's like a super solid connection.
As long as it does what it says. That's the main thing. But I think the key thing here as well, you're going to get better frame rate than you are with the Quest 2, because you're not going to be able to do the compression and the decoding needed is a nightmare for graphics cards. You need a really beefy computer. And I really, when I first got the Quest 2, I had a 1080 Ti, and it was an absolute nightmare on that. I couldn't run it very well at all. I couldn't believe the difference when I finally jumped 2 generations of graphics card. But even then, in terms of frame rate numbers, like the Quest 2 and the G2 is so much further ahead and looks better. So I'm quite interested in this headset, actually.
Yeah.
In my head, it's like consolidating my headsets down. If I could, like not have my Valve Index, not have my Quest, and just have this, and have it do the same, as close enough a job as possible as those 2 headsets, then that would be a great experience.
Much better than your Valve Index.
Yeah.
I can tell you that it's much better. Just the Valve Index is more comfortable.
Yeah, there's a number of advantages. I think the one thing with the Valve Index is the resolution. I think there's a number of things with the Valve Index that gives it the advantage still, but at the same time, you've got to weigh up how much this thing costs in comparison to a Valve Index and all of these other things. It's incredible.
It's really good.
There's the other point with this as well, that it's ByteDance, and if you've got a problem with Meta, you have a problem with ByteDance potentially as well, and all of these other things. But I think we're all on the same page that we're talking specifically about the hardware here right now as well.
Yeah, right. But actually, I agree with you. What are you showing us here? Oh, man, I'm happy that you were wearing like trousers.
Yes, I am actually. Luckily, I'm wearing shorts.
You look like you were ejecting out of that.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
Basically, because I haven't got my camera up like I normally do. I've got it on some some tape, and it keeps falling off. So apologies, guys.
Just good that you were wearing clothes.
Yeah, I am. Luckily, yes. Yeah. I'm laughing at that. What you say, Gary? That's so funny.
Very funny. Yeah, right. Yeah, so about ByteDance, the thing that I like about this particular headset here, about the Pico Neo 3 Link, is that they don't force you for a Facebook login, obviously not, but they also don't force you for a Pico or ByteDance login if you want to use the device for streaming. So the streaming software that you need to stream wirelessly or via the DisplayPort cable is already pre-installed, and you do not need to download it somewhere, so you don't need the Pico login. So you can completely anonymously connect it to your PC, and it's just a hardware. Like it was before. Beautiful.
That's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, that is. And also, I mean, the thing is, we've been hearing about this for so long with the Quest 2 as well, about how you're not going to need this Facebook login anymore and this kind of stuff. They've still yet to do it.
It's still here. We are in May 2022.
Yes, and Boz put something on Twitter, and I can't. He put something on Twitter saying it's not as simple as like all these account details. It's not as simple as just separating them when you've got all this infrastructure. And then somebody commented, I apologize, there's somebody on Twitter who I follow who said basically, well, you did it the other way around. You could do it the other way around without any problem. Why can't you just reverse it?
Exactly.
It's a weird thing.
It feels like excuses, honestly speaking.
It absolutely does.
It feels like bad excuses. I mean, they have the best software talent on this planet Earth. Of course they could reverse it. Are you kidding me?
They're dragging their heels.
Are you kidding me?
I think they're dragging their heels because they want to get Cambria out. They want people to have some kind of extra login based on getting this Cambria. Different kinds of people that are having this for productivity uses and things like that. Completely different audience really for the Quest 2. They want to get those on board, and then they can reverse this if they want to. But a vast majority of people are still going to have their Facebook login linked to their Oculus login, which is not going to be an Oculus login. They're going to have to do something else with the Meta or something like that. Who knows what they're going to do? But anyway, yeah, I mean, your point stands, Sebastian. This is great that ByteDance don't require some kind of TikTok login or something like that.
That would suck, of course, as well.
I was going to ask, the audio solution of the Pico, is that exactly the same as well? Does it sound the same?
Yeah, it's very similar to Quest 2.
I can't work out. There must be something that they've skimped on somewhere. There must be something in there that you think, hang on a minute. Yeah, the build quality there isn't quite the same. Or,
no, it's really all fine.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It's really nice. And so also the other thing is, for the people who buy it now, they get this 35% discount voucher for the next Pico headset, which is probably going to come out within the next 12 months, because that voucher is you can use that voucher within 12 months. So that is also something probably very interesting.
Yeah, so Shoujo just said, is there a way to play PC VR games with my Pico wirelessly like I do with my Quest? So I think you've confirmed that's not a problem at all, Sebastian.
That's not a problem at all. It works well.
Yeah, so what's the solution? Is that their own solution, sort of like an AirLink solution?
That is exactly their own solution, their own streaming assistant, and it's already pre-installed. You simply start it on the device, and you can simply download the app on Steam. It's called Pico Link.
Okay.
And that's it. And
presumably you could also use, I don't know if Guy Godin's going to put virtual desktop on there, but presumably you could use that as well.
He is doing it right now.
Oh, fantastic.
It is virtual desktop will be on the Pico, which is amazing news, because then we'll know, okay, this is going to work just as good as the Quest 2. And actually, I'm in touch with Guy. Hello, Guy. And I've asked him, okay, do you think that the performance of this device will be as good as the Quest 2 wirelessly using virtual desktop? And what he told me, he said, like, Sebastian, this is basically the exact same hardware. This is the same hardware, like the Quest 2, all the same. So the answer is yes. Right. So that is something to look forward to, virtual desktop on the device. But even the software that comes with it is already very polished and works very well. So, yeah.
I kind of wished it looked different, though. I mean, it looks exactly like a Quest.
How do you want it to look?
I just wish... It's almost like people are going to dismiss it as a sort of cheap knockoff version, even though it clearly isn't that. Right. It's not that, is it? And I just feel like if it looked a little bit different, a little bit more... Even if the internals, the hardware, the premise of it, the idea, the execution of it, apart from a few different things, is exactly the same. Maybe if it just looked its own, had its own thing going on.
I know it's a bit black on the front.
Yeah, I think it's like they've just put a black bit. Come on.
I know what you mean. It does feel a bit like this is the kind of product which is coming out the same factory as a Quest 2.
It is.
It's the same product.
It is basically.
There's other stuff that we get from China, which is manufactured in the same factory in China. It's more or less the same product in China, but it's slightly different, and it does feel a bit like that. The thing is, this company is huge. ByteDance is huge, and it's at the end of the day, I suppose it comes down to the fact that we've got some kind of competition with Meta in this platform, and if they are offering something to differentiate themselves, I think that has value in itself. If it looks the same or not, I think the fact that it's got this display port is big enough to make it sort of have its mark in the VR space.
I agree for people like us who are in this VR bubble, but the general consumer will look at it and think...
I think for the general consumer and for the real competition to Meta, it's going to be the next headset. The Pico Neo, the Pico, who don't know how it's called, Pico Neo Next, I don't know. That was just a guess. So that is going to compete with the Cambria. And I think it has a good shot. Yeah, that's what I think. And
Yep. No, just on the point of Cambria, actually, with the links, we could probably get onto this, but just quickly, exactly, I know we've not got it in the show notes, but the links stand did give an update on the links R1 as well, and I got an email. I don't know if you did, Sebastian, from your backed links, so you can give them your address now. Just confirm your address, and it looks like they're shipping them out on hopefully to the first batch before August.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, I am excited for the links R1, and that seems to be in line with what Cambria Meta are doing with Cambria in some ways, at least.
Right. I watched Stan's update, and I found it very amusing.
Yes,
how he made it. I loved it. I really loved it. So Stan Larocque from Links, if you are watching this, all the best for you. We are, of course, we're still following you, and yeah, we can't wait to cover the links.
Yeah.
Once we have it. Yeah, we're going to cover it. We're going to show it. We're going to, cover it.
That's worth that video as well. Their latest update. It's worth watching because Stan does give his opinions on the Cambria as well, and the latest news out of Cambria, and he's got some good points there. It's definitely worth watching.
Oh, yeah, it's something that I wouldn't have seen before. If I wouldn't have watched Stan's video, I wouldn't understand some stuff, like with the hands and eye.
Exactly, yes.
Very well done. Very well done, Stan. Great. So the links are one. Yep, going out to backers quite soon. Yeah, so let's talk about the Cambria. And we do have some news to catch up to. Probably most of the people who are watching this or listening to this are aware of this, but let's talk about it again because we did not talk about it yet. And that is about the price of the Project Cambria. We were all wrong before when we were guessing, this is going to cost $600 or $700. It's going to be much more expensive. So there was a report which said that the Cambria is going to be $800. And then normally, companies, they do not normally comment on rumors. But on this rumor, actually, Meta commented on it. And they came out and said, nope, $800 is wrong. It's going to be significantly more expensive. Ouch. Okay, so this is really not made for the general public. This really is made for prosumers probably, right? Gary, what are your thoughts about the price, first of all? What is significantly more expensive than $800 in your book?
Well, immediately I would go to say $1,000. Significantly would imply even more than that. I would say $1,200, something like that.
That's exactly what I thought. $1,200 at least. Yeah. At least.
And it's interesting because I do think, especially after watching Stan's video with the links, it's difficult because I understand the technology that's in this. So it's still got the XR2. We believe, based on the leaks, that it's still going to have the XR2 chip in the Cambria, but it's also got all this extra technology, we believe, as well, based on the leaks, like eye tracking, face tracking, these things, which I understand that they're not cheap. And also we need to, I wonder in some ways if Meta are falling into the trap that they've made for themselves by pricing the Quest 2 so cheaply and making a expectation on the general VR consumers that this is what a VR headset should cost. And everybody's suffering. Right, every other hardware manufacturer in the VR space is suffering based on that, I personally believe, because the Quest 2 is an incredible piece of hardware, incredibly cheap for what it does. And so perhaps Meta are not wanting to make such a significant loss on the Cambria, and also by positioning it in a different space to the Quest 2, they have the leverage to make it more expensive. So yeah, I think $1,200 would be probably my guess on this, and I can't say that it's unjustified. I just think that it's difficult to accept when you're used to prices like $300-$400 for the Quest 2, but we'll see anyway.
That is really their own fault, right? Because they really have made us think that $300 is a normal price for something like the Quest 2. Yeah, so Steve, what are your thoughts about the pricing, what is significantly more expensive than $800 for you? Is it also 1,200? What do you think? How expensive could that be?
What Gary said is raised some very interesting points. I was just just listening and agreeing to that. I think the only thing is, I think where would we be without the Quest 2? I think we do tend to moan about it a bit, but they may not even make another headset ever that cheap again. Maybe it was just that aggressive marketing move that they needed to do, and maybe they even, I think there's rumors that they do lose out on everyone sold. So, but obviously, with being a massive media company, they can reap that sort of lack of value in other areas. But I don't know. I think £1,500 plus. I would say
that would be really expensive, though.
Yeah, but in some ways, I'm actually more excited about it now. It's more money because now I know it's going to have some interesting tech in it that I'd be more interested in. It's what I found really strange is the way they not marketed, but with that sort of snippet where he was messing around with that little animal.
Yeah,
thing.
We're going to have a look at it.
Yeah, sorry, section. I won't go too ahead. Yeah. But I just find that a bit strange considering this is focused upon business and enterprise.
Yeah, pro users. I don't even think it's just
in that environment. Just that seemed a bit strange to me personally.
Yeah, actually, I personally don't think it's really targeted at enterprise customers, especially if there's still that Facebook login. That would be impossible. But I do think it's really targeted at prosumers and also people who would like to use the Quest 2 in order to do something productive. You can even now use, for example, Horizon Workrooms, and they also already have some cool mixed reality features. And with this device, you could just do more. And also, Mark said it, right? That actually they want to replace laptops with that in the future.
I think perhaps if we just forget about the word meta for a minute and imagine this is an Oculus headset and they announced that they're going to bring out an Oculus headset significantly higher, for the prosumer, how would we be feeling about that? I think would feel somehow more excited about it. I think it's almost the stigma of meta getting in the way here of what could actually be a remarkable headset, but something that, will be more money, but very exciting for those who wish to really go crazy with it.
Yeah, I do think as well. Like I agree with Sebastian on the productivity side, because this device to me, and a lot of what Meta have done in the past, over the past years, really seems to increasingly make me think that they are trying to mimic what Apple have done historically with their products. If you look back to the Macintosh, which was the first Macintosh, which was released in 1984. That was a computer which was not a gaming device. It wasn't a business device. They didn't want to position it to businesses necessarily. They wanted it to be a consumer device which was aimed at designers that could use this device separately from, not necessarily for enterprise use cases, but just for designers that are working at home and wanting to use this kind of technology. And I personally believe that is squarely how Meta are positioning this device. I don't think it will be an enterprise device. I think it will be aimed in exactly the same way as Apple. I think they are so closely following what Apple are doing. It's ridiculous. You can basically just look back at what Apple have done. Yes, they do. It goes all the way down to like the packaging and stuff like this. It's just so Apple. It's unbelievable. Which they're the most valuable company in the world.
They're doing a great job.
So, yeah,
I also like Apple.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like. Yeah.
I've never owned anything Apple in my life.
Yeah, Steve. Our life is too short not to.
No reason. It's not that I don't like them.
I was just like you. I was just like you until very recently, and some people have changed my mind about it. And then I tried it, and I thought like, wow. And now the whole MRTV channel is done on €1,000 MacBook Air. It's better than before.
Well, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I used to work in 1998 when I was 18 years old. I used to work in a retail store, a PC retail store, where I used to sell computers. PC World, Steve. I used to work in PC World when I was 18, and we got in 1998. We got these iMacs in, these coloured iMacs.
Yeah, I can remember those. Yeah,
and they were coming in, and people were coming in asking to try them, and I was like, why do you want one of these? You can't upgrade it. You can't do hardly anything with it. And people were buying those computers in droves, and I was always trying to sway them over to the PC side. So I'm not an Apple fanboy, but I've got to admit,
actually, me neither.
Yeah, so certain products. I mean, I've got an Apple Watch and I've got an iPhone, but I don't use a Mac or anything like that. I don't actually use any other Apple
you should
products.
Try. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. They're expensive. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but try the MacBook Air. I'm totally convinced by the MacBook Air M1. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
really, it's really good. Wow.
They make the most desirable products in the world, really, don't they? Whenever I do see like an Apple laptop or something like my friend's got, or they do look beautiful, beautifully finished, very, very desirable. But I'm certainly not. I don't really have a opinion on Apple at all. Really, I would buy something if something came along that was interesting to me, really. But I don't know. I've always been an Android user, I guess, but no particular reason why.
I was too. I was also Android and PC, but then it also came to my awareness that actually Apple is much more desirable in terms of privacy than Google. So
do you think this Cambria is not going to have a Facebook login? Is that one of the reasons why it's going to be so damn expensive, regardless of the hardware? If it's going to be,
I hope so.
I just think people. Well, wherever you look, everyone's touting this as a enterprise-focused headset. So why are people saying that? Is it just because of the price, or is it because
it's the price? I personally think that people automatically look to the price, and then I think the use cases. The thing is, it's easy to get confused between productivity and enterprise. In my opinion, I think the productivity can still be a consumer device that people can pick up. Everyday users can still pick up and get a lot out of. And I think there's a different way of looking at it to an enterprise device. And like I say, I just think that Meta are always going to aim squarely at consumers, as we've seen in the past, and what they are modeling themselves on in terms of Apple as well.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be a fantastic device, the Cambria, that us enthusiasts will probably want. Like high resolution G2 kind of resolution panels, mini LED, as in like perfect blacks, hopefully. Better IPD adjustment, more comfortable than the Quest 2, color pass-through for all these mixed reality, amazing stuff that we right now don't even grasp what kind of amazing, beautiful, magical things developers will give us, right? And all the things that you can do now with the Quest 2, but better. So I really believe that this is going to be a fantastic headset that enthusiasts will want. Would you agree with me, Gary?
Yeah, I want it. I definitely want to try it, but I don't think I'll be picking it up based on cost, really.
Sorry, Gary.
No, go ahead. It's basically I just can't.
You both can try it at the MRTV experience.
Great.
Yes,
we'll sort it out. Definitely.
Yeah.
Thought of that. I think, to be fair, that's probably the only time I'm going to try it, when you get it, Seb, or if you've already got it. I don't know. No, but like hardware wise, I need to know more about it. We want to know what are those specs. We don't quite.
Well, we do have those leaks that I just mentioned, right? So
yeah, but I want to know solid facts. Never mind leaks.
Are we? So is this encompassing the video as well, or are we moving on to the video in a second? Because we can talk about that as well. That was interesting. That was very interesting. I didn't know if you had it as a separate topic, Sebastian, but
no, exactly. Now we're going to have a look at the video. Which video are you referring to? The one
with Zuckerberg. Yeah.
Okay, so I have to go
to
be fair, this video shows straight away that it's not an enterprise headset anymore. So I suppose that squashes that really.
Let me find the video. Yeah, so we did get a few videos from Meta, and we also saw a video on Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook timeline that I'm looking for. Here it is. Okay, let's have a look at this. So it's interesting that they pixelated the Cambria in that video. Why do you think that is?
First of all, I thought it was almost like a joke. Like
it was so funny, right? Also, it's like,
Like, really?
we've all seen the device in all those leaks. It looks
yeah,
exactly like this.
But having said
what are they trying to hide?
they may, well, it would be bad. It would be terrible for the marketing strategy to to announce it in this little short video. They're going to obviously have a massive, sort of unveiling about this headset. So that would cause a lot more stir and everything. We're going to all tune in and watch that, of course. So if you just showed it here, it would be like a bit of a anticlimax, wouldn't it? But also maybe there's certain things that aren't quite ready yet. Maybe just it's silly things about the headset design or the volume switches or menus, certain things that may not be quite finalized yet, that they don't want to show yet. I don't know, but I kind of in the end it made sense when I really thought about it. But to start with, I thought it was hilarious, like pixelating the headset. We all know what it looks like, especially now. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Really, everyone knows how it looks like. Also thanks to Bradley.
Yes,
we know exactly how it looks like. So that was a bit funny. But other than that, what did you guys think about what we saw, or what he's doing with the headset? Do you think, it was something new? Do you think it's impressive? What do you think about color pass through? And Gary, you probably have an opinion after having watched Stan's video, right?
Yeah, well, even before I watched Stan's video, I was thinking this is basically what they were showing months ago.
Exactly,
almost exactly the same kind of little experience, which it makes sense. It's weird, I do wonder whether Mark Zuckerberg is genuinely threatened by what Lynx are doing with their headset by showing something so similar to this.
Yeah.
To me, this video, it's a weird kind of marketing strategy that they've done. It almost like it doesn't fit in with their marketing strategy. It's almost as if Mark Zuckerberg tried the Cambria. He was so excited by it and saying, we've got to release a video, we've got to release something, and don't refuse me because you'll be fired if you refuse me. We are putting this video out no matter what. Pixelate the headset if you want, we'll pixelate it. But we're putting this video out no matter what. And it's like, no matter how shoddy it looks in terms of their overall marketing strategy, we're putting this video out. To me, that's what it looks like. It's like so almost nothing. There's almost nothing here. It's not that impressive what they're showing because we've seen it from Lynx. They're not showing us the headset. The reactions, we've got Mark Zuckerberg's reactions. Who can trust his reactions from it anyway? What they need to do is have a video like this where they're putting it on general public and they're going, wow, this is incredible. Nobody, I honestly do not know what this video was. It's bizarre to me, but
it's super bizarre. Also because of the pixelation again.
Yes,
probably it's not the final version, right? Probably they just want to protect themselves from, I don't know, getting like close-ups of it and showing some flaws which are not in the final version, right? That would make sense, but it's still a bit weird. Right? Awkward.
Yes.
It's like a knee-jerk reaction, isn't it? It is like a reactionary video.
It's the only other thing I will say is there was this video with this interview where Mark Zuckerberg was interviewing Jesse Shell from Shell Games, right. And that was quite interesting to listen to as well. So I assumed that was part of the official marketing strategy, and then they wanted to release this alongside that or something like that. But to me, this is like a weird non-video that will make anybody excited for it. I'm somebody who is very excited for this product. And this didn't do anything for me because they're not showing anything that I haven't seen from Lynx and in fact, I tell you, let me just stress again, watch the Lynx video by Stan because he highlights some flaws in this, which are very interesting to watch.
We can also see point them out again.
Yeah, please. I haven't seen that video. What are the things that he noticed?
Okay, so first of all, okay, so this seems to be now the pass-through, right? So look, this looks good. Color pass-through.
Looks amazing. If that's
exactly.
through the lens, or no, probably isn't.
No, not through the lens. No, it's recorded. And so first of all, we had some very similar demo with a little, I don't know, what is it, animal from Lynx. Really very super similar. And what we see here, Yeah. What did we learn here? I don't know. Yeah, we saw something with the hands, right? With the finger tracking. It was
Yeah,
not
so
perfect. It was not perfectly overlaid.
yeah, so you get like a silhouette
Yeah,
where
right.
they move. Mark Zuckerberg moves his hands quite quickly over this, and you get a silhouette of where the headset recognizes the hand as being, and then you
Yeah.
also get the pass through of where the hand actually is, and there's
Yeah, they
a
don't
significant
perfectly overlap. They don't
yes.
perfectly overlap.
And Stan was saying that because they have the Ultra Leap hand tracking integrated in the Lynx R1, that will be much lower latency than what is being shown here. And he was surprised that they were showing that in this video.
Yeah.
Just quickly before I pass it over to somebody, this part here that you were showing, this is actually old footage, and
Oh, really?
yeah. So this is what they shown by in November last year or something like that, where they were showing in that Facebook presentation that they shown last year, they were talking about this far-flung future where we will all be wearing these AR glasses and these kinds of things, and then they were showing this footage alongside. And they also shown the thing just slightly after this, where there is a instructor, an exercise instructor as well, which is semi-transparent,
exactly.
and so to me, this video that even backs up the fact that this video was a last minute sort of rushed thing, because they were just incorporating this old footage, which was not intended for this particular product. It's intended for
It's
future
strange.
products,
Yeah.
which is odd. But yeah, you speak about this point, Sebastian, because this is interesting with it.
Yeah, here right now,
Yes,
the hand
yeah.
is perfect, right? Perfect. You don't see any kind of problems with it. And here, I think Stan said, "Okay, this is simply doctored. This is not real. This part here where you see the hands perfectly." Yeah. Anyways, and here we see this kind of instructor, and what. Yeah, let's go back. What Stan thought was interesting here is that Meta chose to make the instructor look transparent. Even they wouldn't need to have. Oh, let's go back. They wouldn't need to have the instructor look somehow transparent, right?
Yeah, so yeah, Lynx was Stan was saying that basically if this video was designed to show pass through AR, there wouldn't need to be transparent. They were perhaps just this was an artistic call, but this is actually
Right.
footage that was trying to show AR glasses in the future how it would appear, which is probably close to how it would appear. But yeah, so they're just recycling old footage within this, which it's fine. I've not got a big problem with that. It's just it's a weird thing to do with this headset.
Agreed.
I never would have noticed that if you wouldn't have picked that up. And I think the point is, in fact, Lars mentioned this. Like, if you're just all you've had is a Quest 2, and you see this, and you see this amazing pass through and color pass through, and this amazing little creature, and he's doing all these things with his hands, like, and you have no idea what the Lynx is or what it means, would you look at that in a different perspective and go, "Whoa, my mind is blown"? Would you feel differently about it? Because I know obviously you've tried the Lynx and you're aware of it. Again, it's that VR bubble that we're in as a sort of casual VR consumer, which obviously this isn't even aimed at, which makes it even weirder, I suppose, because it's not like this is going to be available to most people anyway. Would other people be mind blown by that? I don't know. That's seeing it from a completely different angle.
I think the normal gamers that now enjoy the Quest 2, they will look at it and think like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna buy it for $4,000. I don't know, $200 or euros. Yeah. I don't think they're going to do it. But of course, it's great, and I'm looking forward to the device. I think what the developers will do with that technology is going to blow our minds. We don't even know yet what they can do and how amazing it's going to be to play with our environment and to have stuff come out of, I don't know, the walls and use it in your games and all these kind of things that they've shown there. So it is going to be amazing, but it is also just not so much better than what we have actually tried already, Gary and me, with the Lynx. Right? It's really not so much better.
Right. It looks the same, basically. It does look the same.
Exactly. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. I'm really sure. I'm absolutely sure it's going to be fantastic, though. Yeah.
I'm not a massive sort of. I'm not really that excited about AR, and that's only because I haven't experienced it. But having said that, I do love the idea of sort of having a sort of AR window. So I was able, if I'm able to kind of pinpoint it to my keyboard or my real hardware, so I'm able to see my yoke or controls. And then obviously with flight sims, and obviously I'm coming from that angle, you've got so many key binding things to be able to do that without being awkwardly kind of looking under the headset and having that in full quality, sort of in a window down here somewhere, like what Vario's doing. Vario doing that with their XR technology. But the Cambria would actually, if it's going to do all that, then it actually might be quite a good bargain. What else is on the market? Although I haven't said that, the links could completely change that again. So I don't know really.
Yeah, it's one of the things, because I'm on Twitter and I follow a lot of AR VR people on Twitter as well. And one of the things that's interesting to me is because I'm actually behind what Mark Zuckerberg is going for here. I like the idea of eventually getting to AR glasses and having that replace every display. Every display will then be redundant.
I'm totally on your side.
And I love that idea. And I follow all these people on Twitter that are sort of experts in all these different areas in terms of VR and AR. And they all have opinions on this, and they all have conflicting opinions and contradictory opinions on AR and the future and the direction it's going in. I just want to say that I like the idea of AR, and in terms, not necessarily in gaming, even just in terms of a daily life, to replace my mobile phone, to replace a tablet, to replace a monitor on my PC and these kinds of things. I am fully on board with it being used for those kinds of applications. And at the moment, pass-through is the way that it's going. Eventually, hopefully, we can get to glasses. So I do like Mark Zuckerberg's passion for this, because it's clear to see that he wants that to happen. So I really do like that. And when I see some people that are far more intelligent than me, far more invested in the industry than me, on Twitter argue against that kind of future, or argue with other people that are equally as intelligent against that kind of future, it's sort of frustrating. I want that to happen eventually.
It is going to happen eventually, I think, and especially with like replacing all the monitors. Yes, it is. We're so close to it, and these headsets like the Lynx and the Cambria, they will help. They will make the first step. And also, Norman, again, thank you for supporting the channel. To be honest, I would purchase the Cambria as an IT manager, lose my two 27-inch monitors. You see, exactly. Yes. Exactly right.
Yeah.
If I can connect to my server, virtual desktop, and work apps. Yeah.
It's funny because
that is what this headset is for. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Mark did comment, didn't he? I can't remember. I have read it somewhere, because I've literally haven't read anything about this, but I did read one thing and I remember it, that he mentioned that he wants, he can see a future within the next sort of decade of sort of, business users doing away with their usual desktops and God knows what, and using VR or AR as their primary device at work. That's I find that a little bit optimistic. I find that, I mean, like, really? That's like 8-9 years away. Is it? Yeah, 8 years away.
I totally believe it. I totally believe it.
What, really? I don't know about that.
I would
MRTV
say
will be the biggest YouTube channel at that time.
Again, I love the passion he's got, but that's an incredible statement, that is, and
it is an incredible statement. Yeah,
I do think as well, one of the biggest issues, of mass adoption of VR and AR is comfort. Are we going to be able to get to that level within 8 years of just glasses? Because that's what we would need, wouldn't we? We need to get to that level, because no one's going to be sat at office. Even with the Cambria, it still looks too big to me. I mean, it's still a massive headset. You're not going to have that on all day at work.
But it's already much better than the Quest 2. So now, if I watch some videos of people using the Quest 2, I already think now that looks ridiculous. Like, for example, so they did. Let me show you that. Let's have a look at the video. They showed us a video about the Presence platform, right? About Project Cambria. And in that video that I'm going to play now, we see also people using Quest 2s. And I simply think it already starts to look a bit funny, seeing those people wearing the Quest 2 for work. I don't know. Probably you don't think it's funny because we're all using it right now, but I think it looks funny.
Because I'm using it for mini golf, so it just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah.
I really think it's like we are in the stone age of this technology.
Yeah.
And in like we talked about 8 or 9 years, when in 8 or 9 years we're going to look at this video, we're going to think like, oh my frigging God, what were those people wearing? Look at this.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous now already. Let's face it.
It does.
Right?
You should see with a Pimax on my head then.
yeah.
Well,
that is really funny.
That's a good point. That does look
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It does look. You don't realise, do you?
It
If you ever
does,
do a
yeah.
video, I could get like I did my first Pimax video. I was flying with the Pimax on, obviously. With
Look
the
at
camera.
that lady. She's so happy wearing that Quest 2. We're going to laugh our asses off looking at that video. Oh my God. Look at what she's doing. Oh, she's like opening something.
The thing is as well, like when they show this kind of pass through, it's not even as good as this, is it? When you look through the headset, like that black and white pass through.
It isn't.
Yeah, you're right. It is not.
And maybe the Cambria is not going to be look as good as that either. Then.
Well, it probably won't. But one of the things, like the links, I'm sort of trying to compare the links in some ways with what Meta are doing with the Cambria, and I do think like one of the main points that at the moment, as much as I didn't mind the resolution when we tried it, Sebastian,
Yes.
I do think that that's one of the main things that is at the back of my head just a little bit apprehensive about in terms of how the links will compare to the Cambria. But I don't know, have we got the leaks on the resolution of the Cambria?
Yes, 2160 by 2160 pixels
Yeah.
per eye, which is like the G2 resolution,
Yeah.
which is better than what we looked at, Gary. So I'm
Yes, it
pretty
is,
sure
yeah.
that in terms of visuals, this will look better.
Isn't the Lynx is the same resolution, is it? I thought it was
1600 by 1600.
Oh, is it? Oh, crap.
Yeah,
Right. Okay, fair enough then.
Yeah,
But
it's a little bit disappointing. That's the only thing at the back of my head that thinks that that's the only thing holding the links back a little bit, I think.
Right. Right.
Is that Fresnel-based lenses, Seb, or is that pancake lenses, or obviously not spherical lenses?
The Cambria is pancake, and the
that's
the
cool.
Lynx. Gary, do you still remember the name?
Oh yes,
with,
yes. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
Those four.
You've got it. You've got one, haven't you?
I
somewhere?
have one, yeah, but not here now. Yeah, but it's a funny name, and it's a totally
quadratic,
different.
catadioptic,
Yeah,
fourfold prism lens or something
Exactly,
like that.
I think that after a few of these.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but now the part that we're looking at here right now, this part I really liked it. So in this part now, they're looking at their real reality, and then
Thank you.
they are simply like putting the virtual stuff onto their real walls, and I think it looks cool.
Yeah, that the way they're painting it on. That's
exactly. It looks really cool.
But that's typical of Meta in their software engineering, isn't it? They're always that one step ahead in terms of how seamless they can do all this stuff.
Yeah, this is going to be magic. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a magical experience. So I must tell you, I'm very much looking forward to have the Cambria. Yeah, I really want to. I really want it. Yes.
Oh, I do.
You too, right?
Yeah, I do. I really want it, but I can't.
We are enthusiasts. We are enthusiasts. Let's face it.
Yes, yeah. That's the thing. It's difficult to. I think we're getting to the point now, though. We're close to the point. Like even with the Quest 2, where you can put it on somebody who's not even an enthusiast or a technology expert or technology enthusiast. I mean, not an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm just an enthusiast. But you can put it on somebody's head, like a member of my family, and they are instantly impressed. And I think we're getting to the point now where with the Cambria, where you could put that on somebody's head and it would blow them away even more because it's got this pass through. They can see it in the context of, I could use this in real life. The Quest 2 has got its use cases and it's great for gaming and that kind of stuff. But I could put the Cambria or the Lynx potentially on somebody's head and they could say, you know, this has use cases in my life now where I'm not a gamer, I don't want to play games, but I do want this huge cinema screen in front of me where I've still got awareness of my surroundings as well. And it's very exciting technology, both of these, honestly.
It looks
really.
the way he put it on. you could almost sense how light the thing was as well. Do you know what I mean? The way you kind of just like it's just had it on his hand and kind of almost you could almost flip it onto your head with one hand almost. That's what it looked like anyway on the video. Just the way.
And it's interesting. It's interesting because a lot of the head straps that you'll find will have like a strap that goes along the top of the head. This doesn't. The Lynx doesn't, because presumably they're both light enough that they don't even require that head strap along the top. So that's interesting that they've just got this grip at the back, and that's good enough and it's comfortable enough. You've got head straps which do that as well, but perhaps they're not quite as comfortable with Quest 2 or something like that. Which hopefully this will be lighter.
Do you think because of the pancake design, whether the field of view might suffer because of it?
Well, we've heard from the leaks that it's very similar to Quest 2, so not very exciting, honestly speaking.
Yeah, but that's quite good though for Pancake at this stage. If you imagine like you're going to get a much wider sweet spot, it's going to be beautiful in there.
It's probably going to look great. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's interesting because this has Pancake lenses, but it's got like the larger displays. So it's got the mini. Is it what's it got? The mini LED. Mini LED. So a lot. Like with the Apara, I think that's got the micro OLED.
Micro.
So
that's beautiful. The actual beautiful.
Yeah, so pairing Pancake lenses with a mini LED would probably allow it to get over that field of view issue for now, I would imagine. But
that's a good point, actually. But of course, then it's not going to have great blacks, is it? Then it's going to
have perfect blacks. If it has mini LED, if they really use the dimming zones, like the Vario Aero, it also has the mini LED, but they're not using the dimming zones yet, where they could choose the backlights which are on and off to make it really dark. So
just think if Vario hasn't done it yet, and why hasn't Vario done that?
I don't know.
We need to ask them.
Yeah, we need to ask them. Yeah, you're
right. Why would Cambria do it? I don't know. It'd be great if they did, but
I think they can do it. Meta can do it.
Meta,
I don't know. I have a good feeling about it. Yeah, but the question also is, so how well do you think will the Cambria sell really? So we understand. We enthusiasts, we are prosumers, obviously, right? The members of this podcast and the people who are watching it. But we are only like a very small percentage of the people out there who are interested in VR. So do you think that this is going to be a hit financially for Meta? What do you think, Steve?
I know enough people, actually, even on my Discord, that are really excited about this as a sort of almost like a Vario Aero killer in terms of...
but we are enthusiasts. No, we shouldn't think about like the MRTV crowd or the flight sim crowd.
That's the only people who are going to buy this. Normal consumers are not going to buy this at all.
Okay,
and it's not for them anyway. It's not going to be for them anyway, to be honest. I think most people will be quite happy with the Quest for a bit longer yet.
Okay. What do you think, Gary?
I think this is if it's as expensive as we expect it to be, then they are probably looking at this to be like I hate to go back to Apple again, but like the Mac Pro. The Mac Pro is ridiculously expensive and it costs huge, it's not aimed at the standard consumer. It's aimed at the enthusiasts and the people that want that kind of computer. And I think that this will be aimed in that context, that this will be for enthusiasts. And I don't think it will sell that well. I honestly don't think it will sell that well, but I think they're expecting it to not sell huge numbers anyway. And in fact, it probably does them a favor because of the supply chain issues and stuff like that at the moment. So I think it will sell to a certain number of people, but it won't. I don't think it will sell huge numbers, no huge volumes, no.
So what I'm wondering, Project Cambria is just how do you call this kind of names that are not real? It's a placeholder name. It's not the real name.
Oh yeah. It's a
code
pseudonym.
Code name.
Pseudonym thing.
Yeah, right. So do you think this will be called Quest 2 Pro, or do you think this might have a complete different name to make people understand? Okay, this is not for gaming. This is a whole different kind of product here. What do you think? What are your thoughts, Gary?
I think it will be completely different. It won't have Quest. I personally don't think it will have Quest in the name. However, the weird thing is that's happened on the Oculus or the Meta website this past few days is that they've renamed the Oculus Rift S to the Quest Rift S. They've renamed.
What?
Yeah, the
no kidding.
The original.
So
yeah,
weird.
it's really weird. I do not understand what they've done.
So weird and awkward.
Yeah, the Quest. So they've got the Quest Rift, the Quest Rift S. They've got the Quest Go.
That hurts my brain.
It doesn't make any sense in terms of their naming convention. They've got rid of Oculus, but they've added on this thing which is a specific product line, which is the Quest. So anyway, the point is that they've said that in the past that the Cambria will be a separate product line to the Quest product line. But it will be compatible with the Quest 2 with everything. So that would make me think that it's going to have a completely different name. It won't have Quest in there. It will have something Meta something, I would imagine. But who knows with what they're doing on their website? I don't know what's going on, honestly.
What do you think, Steve? Would it make sense to not call it Quest, but give it a complete new name?
Absolutely, yeah. I just agree with what Gary said. I don't really have anything else to add, I suppose, really, because it makes sense. It's a completely new
sense. Yeah, I also
new
agree
target.
With what Gary said.
It's a new target audience, and it's the enthusiast market. I am very intrigued by it. I don't need it, but I do want it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I also super totally agree with Gary. It wouldn't make sense to give this a Quest name if it's so expensive, because with Quest they've really worked. They've done great work to market the Quest name as something like that is affordable and for gamers, right? But if now something comes like this and it's a Quest 2 Pro and it's so expensive, somehow the brand would be hurt, in my opinion. This kind of cheap, affordable gaming, which is still high quality. That's what Quest stands for right now. But if this $1,300 device, or how expensive it's going to be, is also going to be called Quest, I don't know. I also agree. I think it would be better if it got a totally new name, Meta Pro or whatever. That would make the most sense, in my opinion. Who knows?
Yeah, I think you see, Meta, having the word Meta in there is, I think in some ways it makes sense, but it's weird because you can't really predict what they're going to do based on their past naming conventions. And so I don't know what we can really predict with this on. We'll have to wait and see. And that thing about the Quest
here would be funny if it was called Rift 2.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's evil.
Science VR. I love this comment. The comment of the day. Fantastic.
The whole VR community would just commit suicide, I think. Oh my God. Imagine that. But I still think I'm going back to sort of how I felt the first time round. If I think Meta, the name Meta, the company, has a bit of a stigma within the hardcore VR community. If we just thought of this as an Oculus brand new headset that's coming out and it's going to be high end, then I'd feel a lot more excited about it. So I kind of want to feel excited about it and see what happens with it, really. Because
it's so sad. I tell you what, them getting rid of Oculus
is
sad on so many different levels, because you just think that's resigned to history now.
Yeah,
and you just think,
so sad.
What were they doing? I do not understand. They could still have incorporated that name in there, and it seems to me that it was purely out of spite that they did not want any remnant of Palmer Luckey in there whatsoever.
It's so ridiculous. Exactly. That was really the one thing that for me was like the great thing about it still. That's still Oculus. I really didn't enjoy, I didn't enjoy the forced Facebook shit and all this stuff, right? But that they totally got rid of it. Yeah. Spite. Exactly. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's such a great brand, especially for gaming, right? Yeah. They could have kept it just for the gaming and let the Quest, the gaming headsets, be called Oculus, and let the prosumer, we do something like a laptop, let it be called Meta, Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Why am I not the CEO of a company like this? Yeah, anyways. Yeah, okay, cool. Very exciting. We had a great talk and we already nearly talked for 2 hours. I think it is time to get to the end of the show. I know that Steve has to get up really early tomorrow.
I do actually, yeah. I've got to
right.
get up mega early on a Sunday, which is
Oh
rubbish.
no, that is very bad. That is not nice. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a really nice show, and we all hope that you out there enjoyed it too. The Next Dimension podcast is back. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up right now. And do leave us a comment as well. That really helps the algorithm because the YouTube algorithm doesn't like these long shows. So do leave a comment and do let us know what you think about this show in general. Also, if you have not yet given us a 5-star review, if you love the show on iTunes, do get your iPad or your iPhone out if you have one. Open the podcast app and find the Next Dimension podcast and do give us that 5-star review. That is everything that we got for this week. We hope you enjoyed it and see you next week. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, good to be back. So happy to talk to you, Gary and Steve. Right? It was nice
it's been
again.
good. Yeah, it's been a long time, and it's good to talk about VR again. I do miss it. I've got to say, I do miss not talking to people about virtual reality, and as I say, not have them just glaze over when I try to talk to them about
You're right. Exactly. Oh, that guy. Oh, he likes VR.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that guy again.
Yeah,
My
right.
God, near the coffee machine.
Yeah.
Go round it quick.
Yeah. But I agree. It's enjoyable to also meet in person and talk. Right?
Yeah.
To really like meet up and have a beer or so. That's really good too.
We'll organise that though, Steve. Like you were saying, we'll organise a flight over
that would
weekend.
be so cool.
I think we're probably better off doing that rather than waiting for another sort of get together that might happen in the.
I agree, and it's really not so expensive. I will get you from the airport, and we would have a great weekend. Yeah, let's make that happen. That would be really cool. And we can even think about this. We can even record a live Next Dimension podcast here in the studio.
That'd be good. Yeah,
that would be really cool. And probably if once I have some new cool hardware here that you want to check out, you simply come over.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be cool, right?
Yeah. Guys, we know we are still live. We do. This is sort of the after.
We know.
It's all right. Don't worry.
We're totally aware of it. Once we're really offline, then we start to bitch about other
things. We hate all the viewers. All the viewers.
Oh my God, they should give us much more super chats.
Totally different, honestly. Especially Seb. My God, you want to see him off camera?
Wow, it's crazy.
Only kidding, of course.
Yes. Yeah, of course. So it's time to really go offline, so we can start with the juicy stock. And please do leave us a comment, and do let us know what do you think of this show, and do leave us the thumbs up now. Until next time, bye.
Bye.
Take care.